Ever have someone interested in your art just to get hit with the, "I'll get back to you," or "I'll think about it"? We all have. It's the dreaded phrase that haunts every artist trying to sell their artwork. What typically happens? Yup, they ghost. They're lying. So let's talk about that. Where are you falling flat as an artist in attracting people who say this? What's the psychology behind why someone says this? And what can you say to handle the objection? Grab your notebook. We're going to go deep and change the way we sell art. So quick background, I've been selling art since I was 16. I made this transition from selling celebrity fan art to more unique style pieces that were more in line with what I wanted to do. Upon raising the prices, I noticed that the "I'll get back to you" or "I'll think about it" objection was something I started getting, especially with commission pieces. As a result, I was committed to learning the art of sales and closing. And now, today, I'm going to teach you the secrets that I've learned to handling this objection, so that you can turn potential buyers into paying customers. Now let's talk about you, the artist. This all starts with you. One crucial concept to understand is perceived value. Perceived value is how your potential clients view the worth of your art based on your branding, your website, and your social media presence. Imagine walking into a high-end Ferrari dealership. The luxurious environment and brand reputation communicates high value, attracting customers who appreciate and are willing to pay for that quality. Similarly, if your website, Instagram, social media, and just general branding is professional and of high quality, people will perceive your art as valuable even before seeing the price tag. This perception can significantly influence your decision and filter the not very serious people out there messaging you asking for your art. It reduces the chances of hearing "I'll think about it." So how does your branding look? Does your website convey your art in the best possible way? Do you present yourself as a high-end, high-value artist? If not, that may be why you're encountering these issues. Now that we know what you can do to attract the right people so you don't face that issue to begin with, let's understand the psychology behind why someone says that. "I'll think about it" or "I'll get back to you" is basically a smoke and mirrors way of rejecting you without making you feel bad. It's basically like a guy hitting on an attractive girl and she hits him with the
"Oh, I have a boyfriend,"
just to get away from him. Guys, you know what I'm talking about, and women, you know what I'm talking about as well. When someone says "I'll think about it" or "I'll get back to you," it's either usually a value problem or a price problem. A money problem is a good problem because it means that can change, but they just don't have the means right now. They value what you do. If money wasn't a problem, they would probably buy right now, but they just don't have the means at the moment. Now, a value problem is where you kind of messed up in not showing or not conveying a high enough perceived value. And while you can change their mind, because there is a reason why they're reaching out to you in the first place, and maybe that's something I can discuss in a future video. Like, comment below if you want to see that, like how to change someone's mind if it's a value problem. In this case, it's better if you don't have to. So we need to figure out what kind of problem it is. We need to figure out the root issue. If it's a money issue, which in most cases it is, it's best to be upfront and direct. The "okay, sure" or the "okay, no problem, when would you like to get back to me" is you basically asking to be ghosted, and puts you at a lower status and destroys any perceived value you didn't have, but now you don't have it at all. So here's what you say. So they say "I'll think about it" or "I'll get back to you." You say, "Susan, I've been doing this for a long time." And usually when someone says "I'll get back to you," what they really mean is a no, and I never hear from them again. You just don't want to hurt my feelings. Isn't this the case here? And they'll be like, "Wait, what? What? You're basically cutting through the smoke and mirrors. You're so direct that you're essentially putting them on the spot to be open and honest with you. Exactly what's going on here. Is it an issue with the money? And they'll be honest and they'll say, "Oh, it's not in my budget right now. I don't have the funds right now. Oh, I get paid this time of the month, blah, blah, blah." Because, it's always the money. If money wasn't an issue, they would have bought your art already. Then you, as the artist, or in this case, you're wearing the shoes of a closer, you offer an alternative. "Okay, I understand. Let's pretend." And it's important you say "let's pretend" because it takes the pressure away. Let's pretend that I offered you a payment plan, or we do it in installments, or we lowered the upfront fee. Would that make a difference? Or if you want to go reverse psychology, you could say, "That wouldn't make a difference, would it?" And a reverse psychology is like a way of trying to get that extra layer of commitment, an extra layer of "Oh my God, yes, sure, it definitely would." Because you want them to be hyped about buying from you. You want the experience to be a fun experience and an experience that they can feel like, oh, okay, I'm actually getting something out of this. It's not, I'm not being sold to, I'm buying, you know? People don't want to feel like they're being sold to. People want to feel like they're buying. And then after you say that, you stay silent. Oh my God, yes, that would make a huge difference. Yes, thank you. Okay, let's discuss more. And see, boom, we got a deal. It's important that whatever they say, you never take it at face value and you never take it literally. One thing I've learned from sales and from just generally selling art over the years is that people lie all the time. Most of the times they just don't want to hurt your feelings as an artist, or they don't want to like feel bad about rejecting you for themselves. So you have to cut through the BS and just get to the truth. Now this works exceptionally well in person and over the phone, which I suggest you guys do. Over text, I mean, it can work. It's just, it may not hit the same, but obviously the same principles apply. The same principles of, you know, cutting through the smoke and mirrors, cutting through the BS and getting to the point and offering an alternative. So it can work over text. It's just, I recommend in person or over the phone. It's just, it hits different. And just generally, like, this is just a tip. If you're selling art at high ticket prices, so basically if you're selling art for over $1,000, I suggest you get the person who's interested in purchasing art from you, or who's interested in your pieces, to just book a call with you so you can discuss over the phone, especially if it's for commissioned art, so you can gauge their tonality and get the details of you know, what they want, and you can gauge their interest. You can see if, you know, this is someone you want to work with. You can qualify them. You can get deeper into the conversation. You can build that kind of mutual trust and that bond, which isn't really the same as over text or email. Booking a call is a really good way to increase your perceived value. It's like, oh, you have to book a call with this girl or this guy? Oh, they must be the shit. It just puts you on a high level, like a position of professional authority, and you're not just seen as this, oh, lowly artist. You're seen as the artist. But obviously this all comes down to you being confident and you being someone who can talk on the phone, and you having that confidence in doing that. Like, if it's not for you, then you probably shouldn't do it. But you should practice it and get good at it, because it can really help elevate your brand. Ultimately, it's all about your conviction and your confidence in you as the artist and your art. You have to have that belief in what you do, that you are obligated as a creator and a visionary whose work can transform spaces and inspire lives, especially if it's a commissioned piece, which, you know, it's typically a piece of their loved ones or of a special occasion, like a very, you know, something that's memorable. It's on you to give this person a piece of your vision, because deep down, you know, when you let them walk away, their lives won't be changed by your art, and they won't be touched by your art. So never let a simple, I'll think about it or I'll get back to you, deter you from making a meaningful impact. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. How often do you get the I'll think about it? Share your story down below. I'm curious. It's been Victor. Until next time, see you soon.